So, y'all, I'm sitting out in Wilmington, North Carolina. It is hot as fuck out here in Wilmington. Alright, I'm over here on the coast of North Carolina towards the beaches and shit. And it's hot as fuck. Alright. I got my load and everything. I'm just sitting here waiting for my clock to reset. My truck drivers will understand. Then I got about a 5.5 hour drive up to Chesapeake, Virginia. And I'm waiting on this clock to reset. And I figured in that time while I'm waiting on this clock, I would come out here and deal with a little baby. Some people have sent me a video he made recently to one of his rap songs. He can't rap to me, you know. I know a lot of y'all allowing a lot of things to be entered into the arena of rap, but he can't rap to me. But the song, I forget the name of the song, but the video was him dealing with police brutality. One of the things black people need to start doing is just because, or understanding, is just because a black person doesn't like the police, understands police brutality, does not mean that they understand blackness overall. We've talked about that. That police brutality is the tip of the iceberg. If that's all you understand about racism, then you really missing most of what racism really is. Police brutality and Confederate flags ain't it. I'm going to read from this that I posted yesterday. Headline says, "Lil Baby says black people can be racist too." I'm going to go down here and read his quote here. Says, Lil Baby spoke about racism, saying there are a lot of old white CEOs at the head of many corporations. And Lil Baby added that they likely were taught racism by their parents because it was the norm for them. He then added, I almost feel like all these corporations or whatnot may be racist and black people are racist too. Now let me pause right there and understand what he's saying here. He's talking about corporations. Understand, when you're talking about corporations and institutions, you're dealing with institutional racism. Not Confederate flags, not the word nigger. You're not dealing with that. Corporations, that's institutional racism. And he puts that up against, notice the wording here. He says, I almost feel like all these corporations or whatnot may be racist and black people are racist too. Now, he didn't say anything about black corporations, black institutions. He's talking about black people. Now, there is this conversation that always happens here where people will say, well, black people can't be racist. We don't own anything. All we can do is be prejudiced. We may say some shit like that's a cracker, that's a honky or whatever like that, but we don't have the power to be racist. I would like for this conversation to move a little bit forward. That's what I'm going to be doing. That's what I'm going to try to be doing with this video. Understand that even when he's talking about this, he's talking about white corporations. We understand that white corporations make up most businesses here in America. 3Ks don't get this shit fucked up incorporated. He's talking about black people. So there's already a power dynamic there that he isn't really addressing. Says here, he went on to say, to me, a racist is someone who treats a different race than their own a different way than it would treat theirs. I feel like if you're a black person and you treat all black people one way and all white people one way, you're racist. He says, I'm not a racist. So I give a white person a chance to talk and actually we get into it before I say I don't like you or not. And I feel the same way about a black person. You ain't gonna be my buddy just cause you black, just straight up. Now, what he's doing here is convoluted. He's combining several concepts, and on the surface argument is about liking white people. Treating white people with some form of respect. This is how simple he thinks one being a racist is. Now, again, I want to move this conversation forward. And I'm challenging anybody listening to this video to take, even if you do believe black people are racist, can be racist, take that and just oppose it to a white person that's racist. You look at the reasoning for both. Let's say a motherfucker might say I'm racist. People say that to me all the time. Rob, you racist. Okay. I'll ask you to justify into what you're saying I'm racist about. Get you a white racist, listen to them tell you why they're racist towards me, and you'll hear a completely different conversation. White people are racist towards black people for nothing. And I've said this to y'all before. You could challenge any white racist to tell you why they're racist, and they can't tell you. Not realistically. They'll say shit about crime, which is propaganda. They'll say shit about drug dealing, also propaganda. We understand the biggest drug dealers on the planet are the caves. They don't have a just cause for being racist towards you, other than you could use the idea that Dr. Francis Cress Welsing introduced as to them being afraid of genetic annihilation. That still doesn't justify. That's fear. Black people aren't actively out here trying to wipe out white people with our dicks through our wombs. Well, it's not our fault that they be at negative and minus birth rates. That has nothing to do with us. We're not doing anything to reduce their birth rate. Now, flip this over and look at the black person that you may deem a racist. Ask them, why are you being racist towards white people? You're going to have a long list of justifiable reasons why black people will be racist towards white people. You can start with slavery. You can drift off into Jim Crow. You can look at this entire system that has been used to oppress black people. And even the low level racist caves that don't really have any power. They sit up here making coffee at Starbucks, bagging your groceries at Walmart. They may not have power, but they have no issue with this system that is set up against another group of people. No problem. White folk will sit out here and poison water. People will get sick. Redlining, Jim Crow, the KKK, calling the cops on our people to get them murdered. If you look at this thing, you could call me a fucking racist. At this point, I don't care. Ask me why. And I'll tell you why. Understand that. Now, this isn't about me out here. I'm not calling the cops on no motherfucking white people if they look suspicious, even though we should be. These are the mass murderers of the world, the serial killers of the world. I mean, we have every reason to be sitting around calling the cops on white folk just because they quote unquote look suspicious. Black people aren't doing that. That's not what's going on. The thing that we must understand about our existence and about the word racist is that we have a just cause. These motherfuckers do anything to try to have our lives taken or have us imprisoned. And then there is a system in place that they have had no issue with conducting itself like that. And the people in these positions, let's look at this thing. I'm going to flip this thing over too. Let's look at this. The black people that are in these certain positions, you have black police chiefs, lawyers, judges, and people that are in congressmen, congresswomen, who are working within the system, have power, or quote unquote power. Again, we're going to be dealing with the theory of power theory, that by these positions being granted to one would have power. Black people in these positions use their power to further oppress their own. There are black people who are racist, and I call it anti-black, against their own. We also call them coons. We also call them sellouts. These are people who have the power, that are in certain positions, and they use those positions to further oppress their people. I would call those black people racist before a motherfucker gonna call me racist, and I feel some type of way about it, against white people. If we're talking about power and power in positions. There are black people that are perpetuating racism against their own people every day. They're a part of the system. Seeking white acceptance, you'll notice this a lot of times when you're dealing with black cops, 3Ks. You'll see this. Congressmen and women. Hell, you got some congressmen, black congressmen and women who've been in Congress for decades, have done nothing. You just lost one recently with John Lewis, one of the civil rights era heroes. He never did shit for black people while he was a congressman, but disparaged black people. That's all he did. Y'all love Maxine Waters. She's done nothing for black people but be a congresswoman. Racism didn't decrease on her watch. Hasn't decreased on her watch. These are people that are in these positions that aren't doing anything. These are facts. I want to see this conversation move forward. You can call me a racist. That's cool. Ask me why. I don't trust these motherfuckers. Because I understand that when it comes to me versus them, they'll watch me suffer, they'll watch me starve, they'll watch me fucking die. And I know this. They'll see a society with their faces in high positions. They'll see these cops murdering our people, and they have no issues with it. They say all lives matter. They say, well, white people are dying at the hands of cops too. They say that y'all need to get past slavery, past racism. What the fuck you mean reparations? What are you talking about? Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. That's what these motherfuckers do. They only love us when we're being entertainment for them. They don't give a fuck about us stealing our culture. That's it. Again, ask one of them motherfuckers why they racist towards you. They can't tell you. They don't know. So I want us to start looking at it from that format. Because I saw this posted. Now, Lil Baby is a coon. I mean, it just is what it is. He's talking about liking white folk, not giving, just letting them, hearing them out and seeing what they got to say first before he decides to not like them. Again, we not over here doing nothing to white folk. We don't treat them no type of motherfucking way. He said he feels the same about black folk, and I'll give him that. I'm not about to, I done told y'all, I don't support everybody black. I'm not riding for everybody black. These sellouts, these anti-black blacks, no, I'm good on them. I'm good. I'm good on them. So I'll give him that. But I'm not allowing no white person to come tell me their story or have a conversation with me, and all of a sudden I trust them. Not going to happen. I have every reason not to. Look at what they've done. Look at who they've been. Look at how they've existed. That's just cause. Lil Baby may not understand this, and we don't even really have this conversation. We just normally say, well, black people don't have the power to be racist, so that's it. I want us to have a little bit more. A little bit more than that, because I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm saying, okay, black people can be racist. Ask me why, though. Ask me what my gripe is. I'll tell you my story. Talk to a member of the motherfucking Klan and listen to theirs. But I mean, it's Lil Baby, right? He is a rapper, and thus I saw many black people agreeing with him. They were agreeing with him based on the premise that a black person will call a white person a cracker or a honky. Those of us who don't trust the caves, black people were agreeing based on that premise. And that's just not enough. Because I'll tell y'all this 1,000,000 times if I need to. I could give a fuck less about a white person calling me a tar baby, calling me a monkey, calling me a nigger. I could give a fuck less. Those are just words to me. I don't give a fuck nothing about any of that. Doesn't matter to me at all. That person is racist because they allowed everything that has happened to black people has been at the watch. I mean, we're dealing with a country that has a majority caves. They've been watching. Even the ones that don't call me a nigger, you know, y'all love Democrats. They may not call you a nigger. They've been watching. I got a problem with the motherfuckers that's sitting around watching. Now, I mean, I got a problem with motherfuckers gonna sit around and say nigger too, but I understand that it's the motherfuckers that's been sitting around watching our people go through what we went through and tell us just sit down and be quiet, don't worry about it. I don't need to run around calling white folk hunkies and crackers. I don't sit around doing that. I'll just tell the truth about what they're really doing and what they're not doing. And I'll be called racist for that. So understand this. I can't wait to see y'all's comments on this. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about Lil Baby. Again, he's misinformed. He's a misinformed coon. Because, again, he says it right here. All these corporations or whatnot may be racist, and black people are racist too. That sums up the whole thing, really. You talking about corporations, bruh. Motherfuckers that may not call you a nigga right out. But they're not gonna hire your black ass. A bank may not call you a nigga right out to your face, but you're not getting that business loan. This is what the practice of racism is. Keeping another people down, not name calling. Actively imposing laws and discriminatory practices to keep a people down. Black people don't do that. Black people may call them crackers and hunkies. That's it. These are the facts. But now if we're going to call white people racist for tar baby and monkey or whatever the fuck they talking about like that, then okay, like I said, cool. You can say some black people can be racist. But I would call the motherfuckers that's racist towards black people or even other black people that is in these positions of power. They're practicing anti-black practices and enforcing anti-black laws and discrimination against their own. Racism towards black people. Because racism towards white people, that's not even real. But y'all comment, let me know what the fuck y'all think. If y'all can see where I'm coming from. I know I've gotten in trouble for, suggesting that we look at this thing differently before. And I just really think we should. I really do think we should look at this thing differently because I can tell you my story. I ain't had no issues. Ain't no white folk ever spit on me, call me no nigger to my face, or jump me, beat me up. Or I ain't never had no shit like that happen to me. These motherfuckers ain't mistreated me. White folk ain't never, the caves ain't never mistreated me. They've always been kind. They ain't never mistreated me. So I don't have that story to tell. That's not what I say. I don't walk around out here goddamn cussing white folk out or being extra towards them. I don't do all that. And y'all gonna quit acting like black people are doing all of that. That's not what's happening. Black people be telling the truth. And we get called racist for that. That's where we are. And too many black people agree with this type of shit. So I feel like we need to change the conversation so we can get a good look at this thing for what it really is. But y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Links to follow me on social media in the description box. Black first, second, and third. And you can call us racist if you must. But let me tell you why. I can explain to you why. And can do it with nothing but straight facts that you can't even fucking refute. And I feel no type of way about it. I'm unapologetic about it. It doesn't matter to me how you feel. I know that I don't run around out here treating white folk no type of way. A cashier, I'm just going to haul off on them and slap them and call them a cracker, or, you know, call the cops, try to get this cracker killed. No, ain't none of that shit happening. Black women aren't pointing white men out for rape and getting them killed. Lynch mobs coming after them. That's not us. That's never been us. Not once. We tell the truth about who these motherfuckers are. We tell the truth about racism and what it is and who has perpetuated this racism. And for any motherfucker to sit around and act like it's been black people, they're motherfucking treasonous ass coons. Anybody who agrees with this rhetoric is a treasonous ass coon. Shout out Team Rob. Y'all already know what the fuck it is. I'm out.